Hi everyone, it's me, Sunny Jordan. I hope that you are doing well today. Happy Saturday to you. So, first of all, I want to just say it is the 5th of January, and I was just going back through my collection of YouTube videos and realized, oh my, I have been videotaping or videoing myself for the past 7 years. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever. I am very happy that I've been in tune as to what I'm supposed to do. And as I am working, on consistency, we'll see if I can make 100 videos in a year instead of 7 years. Needless to say, I'm just very happy that I have fully committed to my purpose and to sharing my knowledge, whether that be about how I published a book or whether that be on how I know how to connect and make a group of super friends with just about anyone, as well as knowing how to hustle to I don't know, listening and mentoring and coaching. Those are some of my gifts and talents that God has blessed me with, and I'm just grateful. And to show my respect for that, I've decided that I'm going to video. I'm going to do my best to stay committed to doing it consistently. I've been doing this, I think, 4 days straight in 2019, and I'm starting to feel a little bit more at ease, I guess you could say. So what happened in my day today that I would love to share with you to give you a little bit of encouragement and also to learn about some of the things that I learned. Now you may hear my little ones in the back as they are still hyped from our adventure at the movies, which was awesome. Spider-Man versus Spiderverse. I think that was an awesome movie, very well put together. I won't say I'm an avid Spider-Man fan, but I definitely say I totally enjoyed the the cartoon of this and how it was structured and written. One of the things I really loved about it is that my son and his friends were able to see little brown guys and people that kind of look like him in a Marvel movie, and they could relate possibly. And not only that, it just gives them empowerment and courage to say that I can do and be a superhero as well. All right, so that wasn't the only thing that really came to my attention. Towards the end of the movie, there were some prominent areas that I believe were could be very life altering if you were to take some time to think about it. And one of the things that I want to bring to your attention, if you ever get to, first of all, see Spider-Man versus Spider-Verse, it was a part where Miles, he's a little young black kid who got bitten by this radioactive spider. And if you didn't know, in the movie, there were like 5 or 6 Spider-Mans. So it was more than one. And so he had the opportunity to be the one who made a big difference. But when he first got it, just like the other Spider-Man, he was like, what's going on with me? I don't feel normal. I don't know what's going on. And he wasn't ready to embrace the powers that were put inside of him. So make sure you listen to this. He wasn't ready to embrace the powers that were put into him. That was one thing. The second thing is he was trying really hard to get into this gift and this talent that he had received, and he just couldn't get it. He was having struggles with it. As a matter of fact, the other characters that were on there were like, oh man, he's just not ready. He's just not ready. And so he had a great, he really enjoyed looking up to his uncle, who many people saw was, or especially his father, didn't see as a role model, but he did. And so in this film, he was looking up, and this role model, which is his uncle, actually happened to be the bad guy. So instead of with the point where the bad guy, which is his uncle, found out about Miles, who was his nephew, he began to he was just like, oh my God, I can't kill my nephew. So anyway, he died. I hope I'm not spoiling the movie for you, but I really want to share this with you. So as his father was coming to give him the news as he was in college, as he was in school, his father always wanted to hear him say, "I love you." So he was talking and saying, "I apologize. I want to just let you know what happened to your uncle," or whatever. And so basically after his father was at the door, the character Spider-Man, the original one, was like, "You're not ready." So he kind of like had him all in these spider webs where he couldn't respond to his father, couldn't move, couldn't let his father in the door because his father did not like Spider-Man, as a matter of fact. So he wouldn't let him in. But prior to his dad coming to the door, this is the main point. Spider-Man and Miles had a conversation. And in that conversation, Miles asked the Spider-Man, "How will I know that I'm ready?" And he was talking about his powers, or talking about becoming Spider-Man. How would I know I'm ready? And in this thing that he was trying to ask him, Spider-Man responded, "I don't know. I don't know. You have to take a leap of faith." Listen to this again. He says, "How do I know when I'm ready?" You won't know. You have to take a leap of faith. I think that's exactly what it was. So he didn't put a pinpoint as to when he would be revealed to use his powers or when he would be able to walk into his greatness. But he said, if you just take that leap of faith, then you'll know. You have to take a leap of faith. So many of us have not wanted to take that leap of faith because of fear, worry, doubt, thinking we were not ready, comparing ourselves to others, looking at someone else, whatever the case might be. We've all done that. And so as I was thinking about that, I was like, wow, that's powerful. You don't know when you're ready until you're doing what you're supposed to do. You won't know if it's just your time until you actually walk out by faith. Oh my God. The day that I walked out on faith, I left my job. I knew I wanted to write a book. I wanted to do all these things. I had no idea, but I just felt it inside of me that I had it was my time to do something. So it took a leap of faith for me to quit my job. And I don't recommend you just quitting your job or anything like that. But you know when it's time for you to do what you're supposed to do. You've been convicted before. I know you have. But anyway, so he began to, as his father was at that door, the other guy had left, the other Spider-Man left, his father was at the door. He began to see his father walked away because he couldn't do anything, but he began to feel his powers. He began to become who he was created to be because of this spider that had bitten him. And he got out of it. And he went into the web. Basically, he went out and jumped. And he took his first practices, was doing his web and doing all these other things. And it was time for him to help fight the other characters so that they would get out of the dimension that they were in. So as he went out and did that, he discovered that it was his time. So I'm encouraging you. I'm encouraging you to leap out on faith. I'm encouraging you to do what you're supposed to do in order to become and know when is your time, right? So I'm encouraging you to step out on faith. Now you may say, well, what's faith? What does that look like? For me, I think that faith is first facing your fears, beginning to focus on what you can do. He knew he had that power inside of him. So he began to go ahead and begin to focus on that power, not on the fear, but on the power that he had inside of him. The second thing I think he had to do to obtain and achieve this faith is he had to accept that it was no perfect time, that he had to go ahead and do it because he had to save the world. He had to save his family. He had to save his other friends. He had a job to do. Then the third thing I think he had to do is he had to recognize that it wasn't impossible, that all things are possible. Even if it looks like it's just too big, all things are possible. Then for the fourth thing, and I know I'm going pretty fast, but you got to catch these things. The fourth thing I think he had to do is transform into that person that he was already destined to be. Have a transformation over his mind, the way he thought, the way that he was going about doing things. He was putting too much thought into what he was supposed to do instead of taking action. He was putting in too much thought. Too much thought. Too much thought. Too much thought. We do this all the time. We just sit there and we think about all the things that what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. If it's going to work, if it's not going to work. The fifth thing I think that he had to do is he had to have courage. He had to have courage to just go ahead and do it. He was running out of time. He had to have courage. I'm encouraging you all to not worry about knowing that it's time, but taking a leap. Because it is time. It's time for you to step out on faith and do those things that you don't think you're qualified to do. It's time for you to step out on faith and remove your fears. It's time for you to believe in your greatness. We all have these powers. The third thing I got from this movie, and I'm going to let you go because this video really doesn't need to go beyond 5 minutes. But the third thing, and I know you can hear these boys, oh my gosh, they're getting out of control. But you know what? I have to get this out. The third thing he was talking about was everyone wears a mask, or everyone can wear a mask. There was a ton of different Spider-Mans on there. It was a pig. It was an old man from 1930 something. It was a Pikachu girl, or I don't even know all the characters. But the point was everybody can wear a mask. What's your superpower? What's the mask? Who are you? Who are you behind the mask? It's time to come out. It's time for you to take a leap. It's time for you to just be that person that you're designed to be. I'm encouraging you this day to take that leap of faith and share with me how you're going to take that leap of faith. That's right. Inbox me, message me, find my email, check me out on Instagram, @TheSunnyJordan, whatever you need to do. I want to hear about your leap of faith. Until next time, everyone, I hope and I pray that you truly stop questioning how you're going to know and do what you're supposed to do. Until next time, I hope that you continue to shine bright. I love you. And this is my pageant wave. I look forward to talking with you soon. Take care. Sunny.